on this subject. I know you've seen a lot of videos over the past few days because everyone is doing a reaction video. And to be honest, I wasn't planning on doing a reaction video. I was planning on staying away from social media because holy moly, it's been a
day and a half.
It's been a day and a half, a good day and a half, but still a day and a half. So let me pull up so Shawnee can see comments. Give everyone a few minutes to join. As you guys are joining, I wanted to tell you all, first and foremost, I've never had so many people reach out to me after Cricut published a blog post. We did our video on, was it Sunday? Yes.
Yeah.
And I think mid-Tuesday, they had made a decision. And I was done with the subject. I was ready to move on. But I still have a ton of you guys reaching out to me and asking questions. And as I've always said, I am here for you to help you with your buying decisions. And I will never take that promise back. So, have we beat this head over, or have we beat this with the bat over and over again? Absolutely. Is everyone talking about it? Absolutely. Am I happy that Cricut did a sort of apology? Absolutely. But I've had a lot of you guys reached out to me and say, what is your thoughts on this? And I'm gonna be 100% honest, and Sean's watching the comments. It's not been the best few days for me. I knew by putting out the video that I put out, I was going to get people that agreed with me and people that didn't agree with me. And I also knew that business partners may not agree with me. But the fact of the matter remains that this all boils down to transparency and being transparent with your customers. All right, so as you guys come in, I will give you a quick recap of what's going on. Cricut Design Space, or Cricut, last Friday on Cricut Design Space, decided to release a announcement saying, oh my gosh, items that you have been asking for years are finally coming to Cricut Design Space. Offset, kerning, project folders, all of these great features that we have been waiting years for, literally years to come out, was announced. And I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I saw that email, Sean, what did I say? I said, offset!
Offset, yeah.
Offset. I was so excited about offset. And then I started reading more about it. And at the very end, there was a little blimp about, hey, we're also going to restrict the amount of uploads per your account if you're not a Cricut Access member. And I'll be honest, I sat on that for a few days because I was like, okay, I'm torn because they're a business. I'm torn, you know. I just didn't know what to think about it. But the more I did my own research, it was made crystal clear that you all needed to know where this was coming from. Once again, before I go down this rabbit hole, this is just my views. This is what I am seeing play out in front of me. And what I'm still seeing playing out. I am not talking about, or I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone but myself, Ken's Kreations, a former product expert with Cricut. And I want to make sure you guys understand that, because I got a lot of people calling out names of product experts or influencers or people associated with Cricut, and I need to make it clear that these people had no idea this was coming. I know as a product expert, when I was a product expert, I wasn't privy to a lot of information until it hit the media. And you're just dealing with the chaos that comes with it. So it's important for me to say that because I understand there is product experts, influencers, people that technically aren't associated with Cricut that have built a business around the Cricut machine. And what they're saying is the Cricut machine is an amazing piece of technology. So amazing, we have built a business around it. And now, because of some of the updates they're making, it impacts our business. So, anyways, I just wanted to let you guys all know that. So, oh my gosh. First and foremost, what do you guys think? I do have the links down below. Cricut released a letter yesterday about noon, essentially from the CEO, a letter saying from Ashish, talking to our Cricut community. And I do have that in the link down below. But it's very important, and I will stress this one more time. Nowhere in that letter does it talk about Cricut applying for an IPO. Nowhere. And if you read their IPO application, a lot of stuff will be made clear. Now, I am not a expert on IPOs and applications. I know a very basic knowledge of what it is, but I do know how to read numbers, and I can show you on the IPO application how successful all of you guys and myself and all the other influencers have made Cricut. And I want that to sit in, because at the end of the day, Cricut does not become successful without their users. And I will go down on record of saying that Cricut users are the most dedicated group I have ever seen. So much so, I have literally kept my relationship with Cricut because I know those users are dedicated. I do have Jazzy here. I have Sean. I have my water because I get dehydrated. And as you guys all kind of talk and stuff, I am going to pull up the letter here in just a sec. You can go on and say hi to everyone, Sean, real quick.
Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing well. I've got my phone so I can kind of chit chat along with you.
All right. So this video, just like my last video, was not planned. I was sitting and responding to the comments that we got on our last video, and I asked Sean, should we go live and talk about the updates? And at first I wasn't going to do it because I was like, the letter pretty much sums it up, but he said...
Yes, because people want to know what your thoughts are.
Yes. So here is my thoughts. Number one, the biggest thing I want you guys to understand is Cricut is a business. I absolutely understand this. I understand they're here to make money. I understand that Cricut releases a product in order to bring in money to make them successful. But keep in mind, currently they are a privately held company. Now, a privately held company basically means, and I'm so sorry about my dog, this is what she does when she doesn't get attention, so she's going to have to come in here and just be chaosville.
Yeah, sorry.
I think when they released the letter about an apology, I think it was a little too late. And I think that Cricut as a whole was hoping that the IPO application would have been kind of more on the down low, and that wasn't brought in. But I'm telling you guys right now, once that apology letter was sent out and I kept digging more on the IPO application, the more I wanted to share with you guys and let you guys know where they're coming from and all of that good jazz. So, as you guys all know, on Tuesday, Ashish, who is the CEO of Cricut, released a letter. And the reason why I say sort of apologize is it's hard. The first paragraph, and I'm going to read the first paragraph. One of our core values is community. We're listening. We took your feedback to heart. The foundation of our Cricut community is one of integrity, respect, and trust. It is clear that in this instance, we did not understand your full impact of our recent decisions. I am sorry, I am calling BS on this statement. They absolutely knew what they were doing. They absolutely took the stance of we are going to sneak this in and hope our users do not respond. And the reason I am saying this is the fact that you have to issue an apology letter saying we missed the mark on this tells me there was a discussion about this. This decision just didn't happen. We've been asking for these updates for 4 years, and I was point blankly told by the CEO that offset is not a feature most people want. And I looked at Sean when I got that call and said, that is not true. So this was a highly anticipated feature that was getting rolled out. So a lot of people were excited, and they decided to attach this little thing to that announcement. And as soon as this letter came out, a lot of people reached out to me and said, did you see this? This is great news. And I haven't responded to a lot. First and foremost, I want to let you guys know, I was not the only creator bringing this issue to their community. A ton of people were bringing the issue to YouTube, to Reddit, to Facebook, to all over. And I do want to say, you guys made your argument clear. You made it so clear that they had to take action by the CEO, who is supposedly on vacation, to make this letter. The part that I've struggled with, and you can ask Sean, I've struggled all day with this and how to bring this to you, is the fact that they are still not being transparent with you. And many of you can say, Ken, we get it, move on. Why are you worried about this? Why do you keep bringing this? Because I believe transparency and integrity is the number one reason people follow companies and business. And the fact that the letter starts off with the fact that their core value is community and that they listen and they take your feedback, I can let you know, if that was one of their core values, this would have never been an issue. Case closed. It wouldn't have been. But when you have people doing research and realizing that Cricut's applying for an IPO, it makes all the difference. And I want to explain that because I had a lot of people say, Ken, what's this IPO? So essentially, a company has the right to stay a privately held company, or they can be a public company. As many of you know, Facebook, for the longest time, was a privately held company. As a privately held company, there is a lot of benefits with that. You do not have to release a lot of data. You do not have to release CEO salaries. You do not have to release how well your company is or is not doing, and you do not have to release all of this information. But as soon as you want to become an IPO, there is a process of an application where you basically go to the world and essentially and say, we want to be on the stock market. And because we want to be on the stock market, here's our transparency statement. Keep in mind, this IPO statement went out to the people they wanted to see it, investors, not to the consumers. At any time did anyone see, also, we want to be a publicly traded company, here is our IPO application. And the reason why I feel they didn't share that is if they did, you guys would see how financially stable this company is. How Cricut has dominated the market over the past 2 years. And I'm proud to say that myself and other influencers in the market have been a part of that. And I am proud in 2014 when we started making Cricut videos and teaming up with people that we helped a lot of people with their buying decision. And that's why I feel propelled to tell you guys what exactly this means. Now, I do understand that this type of video could mean the fact that I am no longer an affiliate with Cricut, but it's worth it for me to do this. Sean and I, and Sean can tell you this firsthand, ever since Cricut fired us, or fired me as a product expert, our affiliate revenue dropped drastically. And the only reason we still concentrate on Cricut is we know there is a ton of people out there that love the machine. And they feel very warm and fuzzy about it. And we always want to get you guys the best deals. And they've given me a coupon code. And I have always stood by them in saying, Cricut has the best machine on the market. So much that I've even told that to Silhouette at their summit. I always tell them, you guys have amazing software, but the Cricut machine with the rotary blade, all of the features, was a huge plus. So, the reason why I really feel like you guys need to know it is we have an amazing community that supports Sean, myself, Jazzy, our family. And we brought Cricut into our brand. And Cricut still remains. I have the mud press, the Cricut Joy, the Cricut Maker. We have everything that Cricut has released. And I have a lot of relationship built around Cricut. With that said, when I started researching this, I pulled up their IPO application. And if you have not read through it, I highly suggest you take a look at it. I'm not going to go dive deep into it, but in this IPO application, you can actually see and hear where they state how much money comes from machine sales, how much money comes from subscriptions, what the salaries of all of the leadership team is at Cricut. And the reason this is important for me to say is I got a lot of backlash from people saying, Ken, they're a business. They need to make money. I get it. I'm a business. Sean works here. Jasmine works here. So we need to make money. But when you see some of the numbers in the IPO, you're going to realize, wow, I understand now we are a pawn in this game. So, am I excited that changes were made because people took the confidence and took the risk to stand up and say, Cricut, this is not right? Absolutely, without a doubt. I am so proud that as a community, we all stood up and said, wait up, hold up, this is not right. With that said, I do want to read the letter so you guys can get an idea, because I still feel, and maybe it's just me, I'm just putting that out there, that there is still a lot of gray areas. And I really wanted to read this and research it before I went live, because I do think it's important to understand what this means. So basically they said, here's how we'll move forward. We will continue to allow an unlimited number of personal image and pattern uploads for members with a Cricut account registered and activated with a cutting machine before December 31st. This benefit will continue for the lifetime of the machines. Now, it's important to understand the lifetime of the machine. So here's my Cricut Maker. I registered it. Today, so that means it's covered. If my machine breaks and I have a new machine, I'm going to have to register the new machine. And if I register the new machine, it will be after, let's say, that date. That would not apply to this machine. That's how I'm reading it. Is that how you read it, Sean? Or do you...
Yeah, that's how I read it.
Yes. So when I read this, I wanted to say, okay, we need a more clear communication. Is it a registered on the account or registered machine? I own multiple machines. I have the Cricut Maker, the Cricut Joy, Cricut Explorer Air, Cricut Explorer Air 2, all of them. The first thing that it does is during the setup process, it's going to ask you to register your machine. So when I've had a machine replaced, which I've had, it does happen, we have to re-register that machine. So I do think, is it covered? For me, this letter, and don't take me wrong, I do applaud Cricut for making the change and saying, we hear you, but I'm still disappointed that they had to do that. Because if they're a company that revolves around integrity and community, they would have seen that in the multiple Facebook groups out there that have hundreds of thousands of members, they would see the projects. And they would see that those projects aren't using Cricut Access images. And they would probably be able to get you the data that says how many uploads is a typical consumer doing. Nowhere in the IPO application does it state they are making this change. In fact, in the IPO application, it says the Cricut subscription is a big plan of their business going forward, and here's all the benefits they get with Cricut Access. Nowhere does it say that they will be limited to the number of uploads. And this is a big deal. And this is why I still want to highlight this. They are trying to become a public shared company. They are looking for investors to keep the company going and to keep the company progressing. The company has made money. If you read the IPO, you're going to see how much Cricut has dominated in this space. But you'll also realize that part of the members of the board is the Perot investment, which is Ross Perot family. This is all public knowledge. You can all go read it on the IPO. You can also see how much investment that the CEO, the vice president, and other people on the board are making on an annual basis around Cricut. Now, does that impact me? Absolutely not. I give credit where credit is due, and the leadership team at Cricut has done amazing things on turning around this company. They've done amazing things on innovating and bringing to the market things that we have asked for. But on the same hand, they are also the leadership team that is making these decisions. It is also the leadership team that has, in my opinion, upset a lot of influencers and creators in the marketplace. And it is the same leadership team that is basically making the decision of the 20 uploads and trying to get investors into the company. So as I read the IPO application, and I highly suggest you guys read it, it is kind of boring, but you will see, they break it down. They break down how much money comes from their machine sales, how much money comes from their subscriptions, how much money comes from everything. And they actually say in the IPO application that going forward, it is very important that we continue a good reputation of the company, because our company success is all based around word of mouth advertising. And I'm going to pause there, because they're using you as the user to do their advertisement. And most companies do that. I'm not faulting them for that. It's brilliant. If you have a good product, people are going to want to recommend it. But let's be honest, Cricut Access or Cricut Design Space has always had issues. As far back as I can remember, it's had issues. And to the point where a lot of people have said, I don't use Cricut Design Space to do my designs and all that stuff. I use a third-party program and I bring it in to Cricut Design Space. And this still doesn't sit right with me. I do have to say, I respect the fact that they are grandfathering people in, because that's great. But what happens going forward? And here, before I hear you guys, believe me, it's been a rough day. I've had people reaching out to me and saying, thank you for speaking up. And I've had a lot of people say, sit down and shut up, because they're a business and they have to make money. But the fact of the matter is at the end of the day, as soon as the company goes to an IPO and they become a stock market on the NASDAQ, is the company going to make the consumers happy or their investors?
It will always be the investors. Once you become public, it's always about the investors and nothing else.
Correct. So once again, that's why I had an issue with the letter being released. Was there should have never been a letter to begin with. There should have never been this decision made. And in my opinion, it's a little kind of embarrassing that they have to, like, in my opinion, this is like them sitting in a conference room and them saying, hey, let's release the Cricut Joy and all of these great products, but we're also going to release this 20 limit upload. And then them not knowing that's going to be an issue. To me, I feel like they knew it was going to be an issue and they tried to sneak it in at the end. And we aren't hearing anything. We don't hear any responses. All of a sudden, we hear from the CEO. And essentially, he is using the fact that we use our community, we use our brand, we listen to our customers, and we are going to make these changes. If I'm an investor, how am I reading that letter?
I mean, I won't say that. I mean, there's many companies that are out there that are public and they do very well to their customers, but at the end of the day, it's about the money for the board. I know a couple of people were talking that Melody and those, like Melody called to double check, is it registered machines or registered accounts?
And here's the deal. That's where I get torn, because you have people that I trust wholeheartedly, Melody being one of them. I really do think Melody always has the
best interest.
The best interest of the consumer, because she is a consumer.
Yes, absolutely.
And her brand kind of revolves around Cricut. So this decision can impact her greatly. On the flip side, I think it's great that she said that Cricut always listens to the consumers. I agree. The fact that they made this change is great. It still doesn't sit right with me that they even tried to do this. And they still are trying to do this with new users. So imagine how that feels if as an influencer, I'm now telling Sean, hey, you should buy the Cricut Maker. Also, by the way, if you buy the Maker after December 31st, you're going to be limited to 20 uploads, because all of us are grandfathered in on freedom of creativity. But now that they are a publicly traded company, they need to show more subscribers for their investors. I'm not saying it's wrong. I am not by any means saying it's wrong, but I also feel like you, as the consumer that has made this company successful, needs to know that. And it still doesn't sit right with me. Let's see here. I see a question. What's going on here? Oh, Clarita, I'm sorry if you can't hear me. I apologize. You might want to leave and come back in. Okay, so absolutely. So here's one of the things. I want to finish reading the letter, and then I'm going to tell you how to see when you registered your machine or if it is registered. So let's read the letter first. Here's how we'll move forward. We continue to allow an unlimited number of personal image and pattern uploads for members with a Cricut account registered and activated with a cutting machine before December 31st, 2021. This benefit will continue for the lifetime of the use of these machines. Okay, so here's where I get confused, because I read that and it says anyone can be a Cricut.com member, because you don't have to have a machine to have a Cricut account. But what it's saying is as long as you are a Cricut member and you have a machine that's activated, you will be grandfathered in for the lifetime of that machine. So as long as you have a machine that was activated before a certain time, you're being grandfathered in. Very, very cool. Let's see here. So then it goes on to say machine resells or transfers. This was a big discussion we had during our video. We welcome new members to the Cricut community, whether they purchase a new or pre-owned machine. If a machine is resold or transferred to a new user, the new user must set up their own Cricut account. As long as the new user creates their Cricut account and connects the machine to their account before December 31st, 2021, we will grant the benefit of unlimited number of uploads for the lifetime of their machine. So once again, I cannot stress this enough. This means you could be a Cricut.com member right now because you want to play with the software, but if you do not have a machine, you will need to buy the machine and activate it before December 31st. Because if you do not, you will not be grandfathered in. So to me, this just essentially, it doesn't solve the situation that they created on Friday. And I know we spoke about the grandfather account and stuff, but I'm telling you guys right now, go look at their IPO application. Yes, they need subscribers. They want subscribers, but this company is not in the position where they're hurting so bad they need the money for the cloud base. Do I think that they're a company and they need to make money? Absolutely, but not at the user's expenses, which is all of you guys.
Jill has an interesting question.
Can you clarify if I currently have an account and machine and I upgrade and buy another machine and connect to the same account, am I grandfathered in? Great question. And I think we know the answer, but it's kind of a document that's in the gray area. It basically says if you have a Cricut account registered and an activated cutting machine before December 31st. So this means if you just have the Cricut.com account because you buy their materials, that wouldn't qualify. You would need the Cricut.com account and the machine registered before December 31st. So what you're hearing is go out, buy your machine and register it, because after that, if you register account, you're not gonna get grandfathered in. It sounds to me, and let me know if you read it wrong or differently, Sean. To me, it's not based on an account. It's based on a machine that's activated.
It is a little gray. And like I was saying, I was reading a couple other statements earlier that both Melody and what's her face, Unamaker, Lori, stated that, and I think Melody actually called Cricut to verify that answer.
So, Callie girl, since you seem to not agree with me, let me know what your thoughts are on this. Because I've been getting text all day long that says, is it account or machine? So do we have an answer to that? It says lifetime of uses, not lifetime of machines. I guess that's my issue with this letter, is it's very, very, very vague. I'm going to keep telling you exactly what it says. We understand that teachers, schools, and other educational makerspaces have different needs for ongoing user account creation. While we don't have anything to share right now, very vague, and nothing will change before December 31st, 2021, we are looking at ways to address these ongoing needs and the relation to image uploads. We will continue to explore affordable ways for our future user to register machines after December 31st, 2021 to allow an unlimited number of personal image and pattern uploads. Of course, paid Cricut Access subscribers will continue to enjoy an unlimited number of uploads along with other subscriber benefits. We will also continue to invest in our content, software, and value for our members. I wish at the end they would also say, and our investors. This is very important. And believe me, I am not just trying to drag this on because I would love this to go to bed too. But the fact of the matter remains, they are trying to go public with an IPO. So they want to look good for investors. I get that, but it's at your guys' cost. It really is. It really is the users. If I'm a company, I want to create the best experience for my customer, because if I create a great user experience and give them value for their money, they will continue to come back. To me, even with this grandfathered in, it is still basically saying to potential investors, hey, we get it, we need subscribers, because at a certain point when someone buys a machine, for the majority of the time, they're not going to buy another machine. They're going to maybe buy our material, but we can definitely get them to be a subscriber. At the time of the IPO filing, they had 1.3 million subscribers. Times that by, let's just say, $10. You can do the math. I still feel like they need to address this, and they need to be more clear about where does the customer fit in and where does the potential investor fit in. Let's see here. What is Billy saying? So I just saw.
I didn't see it. Oh, there it is. Right below it.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and I have here. The funny thing is when we did this video, Sean said, "Are you sure you want to do this video? Are we gonna upset anyone?" And I was like, "I'm no longer a product expert." Because Cricut has so much of a presence in the crafting community. It's in Target, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Walmart.
Used to be in Costco.
Costco. Most people will go out and buy their machine right now. I had a ton of people that actually went to Joann's to buy their Cricut mug press. So even as an affiliate, a lot of affiliates are feeling the pressure as well. The fact of the matter remains, in my opinion, this letter still gives them the escape to do what they want with Cricut Design Space. I'm just saying. So Kim said, but isn't it any company that goes into an IPO change from customer to investor satisfaction? Absolutely. That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm trying to tell you guys. I know a lot of you feel like we achieved it. Yay. Listen, we did it. They are, careful, she's hitting that with her.
Oh. Move your tail.
And I didn't want, I almost didn't do this video. The only reason I did this video is Sean said, you can't just keep being on your phone and replying. My biggest thing on this is they are 100% going to be for their investors. That makes sense. Most people do an IPO for two reasons. One, to gain capital to further the brand, or two, an exit strategy for people to basically cash out on a company and move on at the user's expense.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to be mean. I am not. I've done a ton of research that says, why do companies do an IPO? And it literally brought up those two examples. Example one, to raise capital to further the brand, which if you read their IPO, they have a lot of capital.
Yeah,
just depends on where it's going. Yeah. But number two, it's also a way for them to get the other investors out so they are able to move on.
You hope that it's the first. Capital, make things better, make their software better, anything to make it better.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping that's what they're doing, but you just don't know.
So, Lulu Joy said, we need it in writing. So, for those of you that I have watched Tanner Bobel's or Maker's Gonna Make video. I've watched Auntie Tay's video. I've watched an amazing video from a gentleman, I forget the name of his channel, but I linked you to all the videos down below. Because I'm not the only one feeling this. To me, it's very much so, let's give our users what they want, but not shine a light on this other piece. And I get it. Most people, when they read the IPO, they're going to be like, this is very confusing, or I don't understand it. But it is pretty plain. When you read it, it shows you how many sales they brought in, where the sales have come from. Once again, the salaries of all of the leadership team there. And the only reason I talk about this is it's public. You can go read it. So I'm not just talking out of just, oh, this is what I heard. You can go read it.
Because it's public. It has to be public.
And you know what? Kudos to Cricut, because they have kicked ass. They have completely dominated this area. 100%. I give them amazing props for doing what they've done. They've turned around the company. They've released amazing machines that I still stand by to this day. And I personally think, and I will go on record one more time of saying, Cricut Access is worth every single penny. Absolutely. I am not disagreeing with what they're doing. I just wish they would be transparent with their users, because without their users, which is all of you guys, there would not be a Cricut. And for me, that's the issue of the first paragraph, that they basically say, we believe in our community. One of our core values is community. We're listening. We took your feedback to heart. That sentence to me is, why was this even a change that you implemented then? If you believe in your community and you listen to feedback, no one in their right mind would say, I want to start limiting how many uploads you can have and not expect a backlash, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
if they left it at just, this is the new stuff, and left it alone, and nothing ever happened, there wouldn't be, it'd be all positive.
Yep.
I think they would have done even better, with more people going this, that, and the other, and hopefully Design Space gets better. But to throw that in there, it's just a slap.
So here's the deal. I know a lot of people will say all the time, well, I just bought my machine. I'm good. I just want to throw a scenario out there. We all know technology advances and advances and advances. True or false? Every year, Apple comes out with
a new phone.
I know since I was a Cricut influencer, in the time I was a Cricut influencer, Cricut Explorer 1, Cricut Explorer Air, Cricut Explorer Air 2, Cricut Maker, Cricut Joy, Easy Press Mini, Easy Press Baby, Mug Press. Okay? So all of that has been released.
It's almost 10 items.
Yeah, in the matter of 4 years. So when you read this statement and saying, hey, as long as you have a Cricut.com account and your machine is activated, you're good to go. What happens when they come out with the newest and best machine on the market and you register it? Are you covered or are you not?
Good question. Are you or are you not?
Yes. So Sarah, I would love to do this. I'm not sure what the big issue is. Any product you need to spend money on, you buy a coffee pot. You don't expect them to provide the coffee. So Sarah, excellent point. But let me just throw this out there. In order to use your coffee pot, you have to use the program it comes with. And that program just doesn't grind your coffee beans because it's not the best program. Now what? I'm gonna die. Computer. My whole issue with this is Cricut Design Space is not the best program, and people would be willing to pay the $10 if it was a better program. We've been asking for offset for 4 years. We finally get it, but we're sacrificing the 20 upload images. That's all I'm saying. Karen says, IPOs aren't a bad thing. They can be beneficial to both investors and customers. Absolutely agree with you. Without a doubt. I think IPOs are an amazing way for a company to continue to evolve and grow. But I also feel transparency should be a key component of the IPO. And the fact that the IPO is public and they have not mentioned that at all, which I get why they wouldn't, because if you read the IPO, you would be scratching your head more of saying, I don't understand the move they're making. I want to go on record. Number one, the reason I haven't done this video earlier, it's been a rough couple of days. I did my video, and of course, I had a lot of support from you guys. I had a lot of backlash too of people saying, you know, defending their point of view, which I will always say everyone has a point of view. And it should be heard. My issue with this is, number one, the way Cricut treats, in my opinion, their influencers and their consumer. Because if they believed in the consumer and wanted to provide them the best experience, which is what they've always said, they would invest in making the Cricut Design Space the best program out there, because then you wouldn't have to leave their platform. But the messaging people are seeing is, why are you releasing all these new products instead of fixing Cricut Design Space? Okay? But I can look past that, because here's the deal. We all know Cricut Design Space is an online program. But now, in order to upload the 20 images, you need to have that service. And for the most part, I would say it's not a big deal. But even now, they're not giving anything any more than what we just had. Yes, you'll be grandfathered in, but imagine all of the consumers out there that go and buy a machine and are being told you're not grandfathered in and you have to pay. It's still, in my opinion, it's just wrapped up a little differently. And the apology letter, the way it started off, just in my opinion, is saying essentially, we believe in our community, we listen to our customers. If you've listened to your customers, you should have known this was a bad decision to begin with, and it was going to lead to this. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So anyways, how do you register a machine or find out if your machine is registered? So when you actually go through to set up your machine, it will connect usually Bluetooth, via the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth then will actually ask, do you want to register this machine? And it will usually give you a 90-day trial of Cricut Design Space. Might be a 30-day trial. I thought it was 30 to 90 day. Once again, if you read the IPO, you will actually see the stats of how many people get the free Cricut Design Space and how many of them fall out after the fact. So that is how you can register the machine. I want to end by saying that I really don't disagree with what Cricut is doing. I get what they're doing with Cricut Design Space. They are trying to be an IPO. They want to be public traded. They want to invest in the company. But I don't agree with the fact that they say our whole business model is built on the fact of our community and providing the best experience for consumers. And we can all agree this last week was not the best experience. So they have listened to their customers for the short sight and said, for all of you customers that currently love us, that currently support us, that currently are invested in us, we'll take care of you. But after this date, they will still have to pay. Is that how you read it?
If you are new, anything after January 1st, 2022, anyone new will have to pay. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not if you had to get a new machine, but it doesn't sound like as long as your account is before that, I think you'll be okay.
So also to let you guys know, I did
okay.
reach out Cricut for further clarification on this letter and more, and I've to date not heard back. I have been watching other users out there. There are some great videos of people saying, like, we appreciate the fact that you have made the decision to pivot and change, but people still aren't, like, ecstatic about it. That's all I'm saying. Are there stats about how many actually use 20 per month? That is a great question. I read through that IPO application from start to finish because I wanted to know the same thing. The thing I don't like is during the IPO application, they state that, is there something that you want me to see, Sean? Or are you
I
okay.
couldn't read it very well, so I was trying to
Sorry.
read it.
So basically, if you read that, do you need to come back here?
No, I'm fine. No.
Okay, I didn't know if what's going on because you
I'm just trying to read it.
So basically, in the application, they basically, sorry you guys, I am just thrown off my kilter now. Just that when you open the security report, I don't know what that means. Let's see here. It's good to see different perspectives. I guess that's my biggest thing is I just wish they were more transparent And how many of you, before all this happened, even knew that Cricut wanted to become a publicly traded company and they needed to invest more in their brand? That's all I'm saying. I just wish that they wouldn't have made the decision. I'm glad that they pivoted, but it's still very unclear, and I hope they do give us an answer, is all. What do you think, Shawnee?
I think that's what they need to do. They need to be more transparent on what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
It's too vague, too gray, too much gray space.
Yeah. Well, and the fact of the matter is a lot of people said, she might need to go outside again.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Puppies are, they'd be crazy. To me, it's not the storage issue. It's not they don't have enough storage. In my opinion, they created Cricut Design Space to be an online system, which means everything is stored in the cloud. That was the decision to make. We don't have the option as a user to store that on our computer. If you create something in Cricut Design Space, you do not have the ability to download that project onto your computer and re-upload it to any other program or change it. So in my opinion, if they've designed it to be this online program, which is fine, they need to do something different with the storage. They're still not addressing the storage. Yes, they're grandfathering it in, but as soon as your machine goes out of warranty, if something breaks and you have to register a new machine, you're SOL, and the way I'm reading it. And to me, after reading the IPO application and stuff, of course, no company is going to be like, oh, we have enough money, everything's for free, but they're still not being transparent. I still think it's a shady way to go about business. And the thing, I do say that the biggest thing is a company is only as good as their consumers. So they are essentially selling their consumers and their company to the public offering. Nowhere in the IPO does it say anything about this change. And that's very important to understand. Because people reading it are saying, oh, they get free design space. They get this, they get this, they get this. But it doesn't say anything else about, well, we also are going to limit A, B, and C. And they have every right not to put that. But that means as a consumer, we have every right to question it. We have every right to say, we bought this machine, please clarify it. And the same goes with Apple. When Apple introduces new programs and policy changes, the internet is lit up with people saying, I agree or I don't agree, move along or don't move along. I feel the only difference in this is it was a bad decision to begin with. They've now tried to correct it, but they're being still very, very vague on what that means. And I personally feel it's because they need this IPO to go through to attract investors. And if that gets me shut down by Cricut, if that upsets anyone, I apologize. But I am not speaking of anything that you cannot just go see. All you have to do is Google search Cricut Ink IPO application. It will come up and you will see everything. You can see who the previous investors are. You can see salary. You can see everything. And what breaks my heart even more, and I will get off my soapbox, is I personally know many Cricut employees that have been let go in the past 90 to 180 days, citing COVID as the reason. But all those positions got reposted. And I get that's not my decision, but these, in my opinion, were my direct connection to Cricut. Like, I would reach out to them. I had a relationship with them. Without that relationship, the whole thing kind of just feels a little iffy. Let's see here. If you don't want to pay $84 a month for unlimited downloads, Apple's the #1 tech company right now. We don't need them to store our files. I would rather store my own files because half the time I can't upload them. So, exactly. This all comes down to the fact of if they gave us the option to do a couple of things, this would not be an issue. If they gave us the option to manage our own storage, this wouldn't be an issue. Because if they said to us, at one time, Ken, you can have 20 uploads on your Cricut.com account, I would be able to go delete it, re-upload, delete it. But what they're doing is basically not giving you, as the consumer, the right to choose what to do with it. Now, you can't share a project if it has an uploaded image anyway. So if I was to create something in Cricut Design Space and use uploaded image or license, I can't share that project. I definitely cannot download the project. But what you can do is if you create something in Cricut Design Space using Cricut images and or basic shapes, you can share those projects with other people. That's a great feature. Why can't we download that project onto our computer and reopen it? Why can't we be in control of the storage? I think that's a better... I'm happy to grandfather people in, but on the same hand, I still feel like this is a way to get more investors. Let's see here. Anything else, Sean, I missed?
What does grandfathered mean? That means anything prior to a date, a set date. So the date that they're talking about is December 31st of 2021. So anything prior to that, you are considered grandfathered in.
Back in the day, they let Ginger Adams go abruptly. Oh my gosh, that's really back in the day. That's when I started with Cricut. Ginger Adams was their spokesperson. Hey, you guys, I'm not going to tell you. I don't have the answers, but I can tell you that I've seen some pretty bad moves to other influencers and friends with Cricut. You know, when they let me go as a product expert, and I'll still say to this day, I understand why they did it, but it doesn't change the fact that it still kind of felt icky. And that's why I feel like as a consumer, you have the right to know the full picture. Once you know the full picture, if you're someone that says, I get it, they're going to be a publicly traded company. They're trying to get as many investors. I can see the salaries of everyone and realize that a big portion of the money coming into Cricut is going to certain people, then you're good to go. But if you read it like I do and feel angry about it, then it's like, this doesn't feel like a good move. I mean, what would you say? Sean wants to say no comment. Clarita, I love your statement. I love seeing you as an expert, but I feel you have to make yourself happy. 100%. I agree that you do need to make yourself happy. So I'm going to end with that we are going to end there. I just felt like I wanted to come on here, explain my point of view, because I've been getting so many comments and people asking me what I feel. I am beyond proud of the Cricut consumer that you made your voices heard. Absolutely. And I had a lot of people reaching out to me and saying, Ken, they must have saw your video and made changes. Absolutely not. They made changes because multiple people, multiple creators, multiple influencers, multiple companies brought the story to light, and that's why we have the change we do.
Yep.
So this didn't have to be an issue. It is an issue. And until I feel they make designing free, it's going to be an issue. This is just going to be an issue of, we're going to push it till the end of the year and hope by then everything will be okay. That's just how I feel.
Thank you, Blue Sky, for subscribing.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you all those who have subscribed before. We love our subscribers.
We do. Actually, Ken, I thought you did work for Cricut. I don't. I never did. I am loyal to things I love. So I'm letting you guys know right now, the reason I still have this is I love it. I can go show you all the Cricut products still in my room that I love, because I do love not only the machines, I love what the Cricut can do for people. I've seen so many people that have started a business because of their Cricut maker. I know so many people that sell signs and shirts and hoodies and so many things because of the Cricut. So for me, the Cricut truly can change someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as this change happened, I just feel like it takes a little bit of the power away, and the company, in my opinion, is just not being as transparent as I'd like them. That's all. Yeah. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think. I needed to bring my point of view because of my last video, and so many people were reaching out to me. I'll end it the same way I did end it last time, that if I go missing anytime soon, check Dateline 2020. I mean, I don't know. Those Cricut cuties could come to life at night and get me. They could. I have a lot of Cricut cuties, and I'm proud to display those Cricut cuties. So that's why I always tell people, I still love Cricut. I'm not saying that I don't love their product or what they represent. I just sometimes question the decision, the transparency, and the fact that they are using the consumer base to get investors.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I think that is it. It is 7:30. I'm going to go eat dinner, and let us know. We might not be live unless something else happens. The world shakes in the crafting world.
Changing the blink of
we
an
may
eye.
not be live until next week. But I did want to bring this to you because I had so many people still commenting on my video. And the number one comment, I woke up with, I think, over 100 private messages of, did you see this? 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 And I think it's a win for people that want it to be a win. So if you're a Cricut Access member, it's already a win. If you are someone with the machine and you're going to go register it by the end of December, it's definitely a win. I still don't think it's a win for the maker space, for our future makers, for the people that want to become a crafter. Because I'll be honest, if this policy doesn't change, as much as I love this machine, I probably wouldn't recommend it, because I would have to tell that person, hey, you're restricted to only uploading 20 images. And when they say, well, how do I get around that? You have to pay for subscription. It just may not be a good thing. So
if they're so new and they didn't know anything prior, they may not even know the difference.
Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being with us, even though our Wi-Fi went down a little bit. You gotta love chaoticness.
My fault.
And sorry, our puppy always has to bark all through our lives. So, believe me when I say, after this week, this will all be behind us. And not just myself, but the rest of the community, the influencers, the product experts, and Cricut as a whole will get back to what really is important, and that is crafting and being happy. And we will get there. It's just going to take some time. I think this hurt a lot of people, and it's going to take time for it to rebound. That's just what I say. So, night, everyone.
Night, night.